Okay, we're going to talk roles. We're also going to talk some general tournament items. So most teams are in a 4 or 5 team pool, playing a round robin format, meaning you're playing everybody in your pool. Just the way the numbers work out, there are a couple pools that are 3-team pools. Nothing we could do there. You're going to play to either 11 or 15 points, win by 2, cap of 13 or cap of 17. And cap, for those that don't know what that means, it just means if you reach that score, the game is over, regardless of win by 2. Open, if you're in a 5-team pool in the open division, we have to keep things moving. So this is the same that ECV does out east, 1 game to 15. If you're in a 5-team pool, 4-team pools will be 2 to 11. That's both for men's and women's open. The top 2 teams from all pools will make playoffs. Ties are win-loss ratio, point differential. And then for the open division only, we're going to be doing a play-in game, rally to 11. I'm not a big fan of rally, but we have to keep the tournament going. We want to, make this fair too. So that's what we'll do there. There is a live scoring feature. There's a whole conversation we could have about volleyball life in the app that we're going to be using, but there is a live scoring feature, so you don't have to wait. The reffing teams are going to be inputting the scores. You don't have to wait till the end of each game to input the score. You can input as you're going, 1-1, 2-2, 4-5. So that's some of the general tournament stuff. In terms of rules and old school rules, this is maybe more so for the junior players, but we do play big court, so it's the same court that you play indoor, so there's obviously a lot of court to cover. Playing 2v2. There are no net serves, so if the ball touches the net, that on a serve, that is a fault, and the other team gets the ball. Block is not a touch. This is more for sand players, but if I block the ball and it still comes over to our side, our team still has 3 touches to get it over the net. Side out scoring, for junior level players, you might not even know what side out scoring is or what it means. So it essentially means you have to have the ball in hand and be serving to score a point, i.e. if the other team is serving and you side out, that doesn't count for a point. So again, you have to have the ball in hand and be serving to score a point. So essentially, you either have to have an ace serve, you have to play some defense, to get a point in side out scoring. Any questions, guys, let me know. Another juniors item, there is no indoor tipping allowed, so you either have to use poke it with your fingers or do a roll shot, cup your hand and do a roll shot. In terms of hand setting, so hand setting is only for the most advanced level players. So most people should be bump setting in most divisions, except for probably the open level division. Serve receive with open hands is not allowed in old school rules, so you either have to do the panel or the tomahawk, like we've talked about before. There's a couple 4 pro player only rules, which one being pro open level players can take a free ball with their hands. That obviously has to be extremely clean, simultaneous, just like any other hand set. And setting the ball over the net, for open level players, any other division, juniors, there is no setting the ball over the net, but for open level players, as long as you're setting the ball perpendicular to your shoulder, so either straight forward, straight back. Again, those 2 rules are only for open level players. In terms of hard driven balls, there is a slight tolerance to double hard driven balls with a couple stipulations. Does the ball have pace? And did you have a chance to change your technique? If the ball has pace and you didn't have a chance to change your technique in that specific situation for hard driven balls, there is a slight tolerance again to double it, where if it is hit at you like that, it can bounce off you twice essentially. In terms of serving, there's 1 drop per service rotation. Again, service rotation, not game, service rotation. So, if the wind affects it, you have a bad toss, you can let it drop. The second would be a fault. You may go under the net to get a ball, but you cannot interfere with the other team. So if the other team says, this the team you're playing against interfered, that's a fault. The ball is gonna go to the other team. You cannot enter a court to chase a ball unless that court is not in use. We want to avoid people running onto courts and running into each other, injuring each other. So that's the reason for that. I mentioned work teams a little bit already, but work teams with the Volleyball Life app, you will input scores. Now, like the name says, you're there to work, unfortunately, so you need to call bad contacts. You need to call net touches, foot faults, track side changes, track timeouts, and generally, disagreements. Obviously, you can come to me, come to the center court area. We'll go to an open level player. You can also just do a replay. That's a nice way to settle a disagreement, replay the same point there. We are going to be doing a courtesy roll for co-ed double B, just like the Pottstown Rumble, meaning guys must serve the guys' side of the court. One mistake allowed per game, again, per game, with no penalty. More than one is a side out. And imagine a line dividing the court in half lengthwise. So the men must serve the half of the court that the guy is passing from, if that makes sense. That is the courtesy rule, because we are playing on a men's height net in co-ed. So other than that, show good sportsmanship, be a good sport. This is just a game. Even at the open level, we're obviously playing for some big money, but at the end of the day, it's a game. So be a good sport and do what you can to clean up, be a good citizen. The township borough of South Park doesn't have to allow us to use their awesome field. So if we leave things a mess, that's going to be a problem. So, I ask of you guys, if you can do everything you can. We'll have garbage cans. You can pass that. There will be garbage cans. We can pass out some trash bags too. So do what you can to help clean up as you go. That would really help us out. There's really only a handful of us running this event. Essentially, we're all essentially volunteers. A lot of my family is involved. So anything you guys can do to help us out. We don't have a staff of 80 people like the Pottstown Rumble, so we're doing our best. But that's it, guys. That's some of the basic rules. If anybody has questions, never hesitate to reach out. And the morning of on Sunday with juniors, we will review these rules just so everybody's in the loop. But good deal, guys. Looking forward to Saturday and Sunday. Okay, thanks.